Hey guys, welcome back to your YouTube channel where we learn something new every day. As you can see on my screen, today's topic is about for loops, right? So let's check it out. Let's talk about when we are using for loop and what is for loop. So for loops are basically this is also known as for next loop, which we are going to discuss. Uh, so how this works is basically, let's say there is a macro code which you want to run more than one number of time, right? So instead of writing the code multiple time, let's say you want to perform an action 10 times. So instead of writing that code 10 times, you can use for loop, right? So let's check out how we can use it. I'll now move on to my VBA editor. Before that, I'll just show you the example that we are going to cover today. So as you can see, I have this F14 to F19. Those are blank cells. So here I want numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I'll tell you how we can do that. And another example that I'm going to show you is about calculating the amounts. So we have the quantity of item A here, cost per kg here, but we want the amount. Obviously, you can do it with the help of simple Excel formula like this and this. But when we will use macro is when you have a large amount of data and you don't want to keep the formulas active, right? So that is where you will need macro to multiply, right? So let's check this out. I'll open my VBA editor. You can press Alt and F11 to open it. After that, to insert the module, click on Insert and Module. All right. So a new module will be opening up. I have this module already, so I'm not opening a new one. Okay. So these are all the sheets that I have. I'll just group them, or I'll just close this because we won't need them. Okay, now so if you look at the first code, what I want here I have done is like sample one of the loops. So for starts with for. Before that, I have defined I as in variable and I've defined it as integer, right? So I have defined it at the top so that I don't have to define again and again in each sub procedures on this module. So if I have like 5 procedures on this module, in all the 5 cases, I would be considered as an integer. Okay. So that is the advantage of writing it at the top in the first line. Now, if you see, you have to start with for I, which is my integer, but it can be anything, any alphabet, any word like VBA or training or your name, anything. It can be anything. So I have written I and is equal to 13 to 19. Okay, I'll change this to 14 to 19 because I want values from 14 onwards, right? Cell 14 onwards. And I want the I value also in 14. Okay, so what will happen in this case is after that range F for column F, right? And I is for to check the number of the cell. So how this macro will run, in the first case it will take cell as F and first number 14, so F14, and it will change its value to I. Okay, and similarly in the next, when it will do next, it will then take the value of I as 15, so in F15 it will write 15. Okay, I'll do a step run just to show you guys. And I'll just before that zoom in so you guys can see the code clearly. Okay, so this is how the code is, and I'll just step run now. And you can also see column F here, how the values will come. Right, so first macro is run, I mean the first part is run, and you can see 14 here. You can see 15 in the next, and so on, right? And once it completed 19, it moved to end sub. Okay, now these numbers can be anything 1 to 100, 1 to 1000, 1 to 10 lakhs, based on your project requirement. But yeah, I've just taken a small, for demo purpose, just a small range. Okay, now let's, as I said, if I want I in 1, 2, 3 in this, so I can do minus 13. Okay, so now I'll run this code by pressing F5. And as you can see, now I have the numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Because I deducted 13 from each number, right? So that's how you can get 1, 2, 3 or any numbers you want in any cells, right? Now let's come to our next example, which is of multiplying. Now how we will multiply, right? So basically, the code is going to remain same. As you can see, okay, it's going to be 14 to 19 again. For I is equal to 14 to 19, and D, I'll show you here. So in D14, right, I want B14 into C14. So D14 should be equal to B14 and into C14, right? So that's how the code is also written. Right, so D and I, so D14 will be the first case, dot value, because we want its value to be changed, and then range B and I, again B14, and as you can see there is a into sign here, and C and I, again the same case, right? So now I'll run this code and show you guys. I'll press F5. Right, so as you can see, all these values we got as a multiplication, right? So all these values are now multiplied and there is no formula. So this is the advantage of using VBA. You don't have formulas. So when your file is big or it has large number of calculations or formulas active, so this will help you to reduce the file size and also the load on the file. So it will be able to open quickly, you will be able to save quickly, and it will perform in a better way, right? So that's it for today's video. I think we are done with today's part. I'll again come back with some more example on loops, right? There are other types of loops also, like for each or do while, do until, and while and when. So all these we will cover in upcoming videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would request you to please subscribe so that you can keep getting notifications about my new videos, and also share it with your friends and colleagues so they can also learn all this, and it will help them in their office day-to-day work. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.